It's Ron Reader Digs the Universe. I'm Ron Reader, and this is Ron Reader Digs the Universe, and tonight, lying about the schools. I think we've all heard by now about the recent massive escalation in the ongoing conservative, performative freakout regarding public education. This shit's been going on since Brown versus the Board of Education in the 1950s, but they're balls to the walls right now. Right-wing political takeovers of school boards, right-wing governmental takeovers of school districts and perceived liberal cities like what's going on here in Houston right now. Anti-gay laws, anti-trans laws, banning the teaching of black history. It just goes on and on, this fascist crusade. There have been more than a few efforts to oppose all this, to diffuse the power plays, confront the lies, to save learning, and there has definitely been some success as voters start to wise up to this conservative confidence game. Even a few conservatives are starting to figure it out. Far-right Republican Courtney Gore got herself elected to the Granbury ISD School Board up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area on a platform of rooting out leftist indoctrination in the schools. So, once she had taken office, she immediately began deeply scrutinizing all district curricula, trying to find that gay commie shit she just knew was there. She looked, and looked, and looked, and found nothing. Being part of a rapidly vanishing breed, the honest conservative, Gore naturally proceeded to tell other conservatives in her district that their schools, at least, are just fine. Unsurprisingly, her observations and assertions were roundly rejected. Now Gore is saying that she was played by the voucher lobby plain and simple, and they want to destroy public education. I'm sure it sucks indeed to be played by cynical asshole right-wing operatives. A lot of ethical, self-respecting, honest conservatives have had to just suck it this last decade or so, because these players are going to play, and the game about schools is overwhelming. Doctrinaire neoliberals want to destroy public education because they believe any and all government services crowd out what they see as legitimate business opportunities. The charter school lobby wants to take advantage of those legitimate business opportunities to make a lot of money, and the voucher lobby aims to make that possible by literally defunding public education and transferring those tax dollars to private entities. The evangelicals want to destroy public education because it's not godly or some such. The racists and homophobes too, because the schools aren't racist and homophobic. And all conservatives want to destroy the schools because they're deeply troubled by the notion of critical thinking. You know, back in the day when I was a high school teacher, I developed a critique of the public schools, asserting that they're too authoritarian to effectively teach critical thinking. But I rarely mention that these days because as flawed as the schools are, they're 10,000 times better than what conservatives would have us endure. They lie about our schools always, all the time, all day long. As far as I can tell, it's because a well-educated population is necessarily resistant to authoritarian rule. The struggle over the schools is a very big deal. We cannot allow these Orwellian forces to rot the American mind. I'm Ron Reeder, and this has been Ron Reeder Digs the Universe. Join me, Ron Reeder, again next week for another episode of Ron Reeder Digs the Universe. I'm sure it sucks indeed to be played by cynical asshole right-wing operatives.